What is up, Force fam? Star Wars Dad back for another video. Today we're going to be looking at an updated Anakin Colossus list. Before we get into today's video, please make sure to check out my Patreon as we are building a great community where we post new deck lists regularly. And please make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube as it really does help the channel to grow, and make sure to sign up for the 4,500 subscriber giveaway where I will be giving away a Blue Leader, a Fetz Fire Spray, and a Millennium Falcon Prestige foil to 3 lucky winners. So to get into today's video, so I've been testing this list out a lot over the last several days. Colossus is just the perfect base for Anakin. If you haven't tested that out yet, it makes so much sense. Like getting to 35 HP. One of Anakin's weaknesses before was just kind of getting run over by aggro decks, and having that extra 5 HP to kind of find what you need to get yourself back at a good life total is really, really valuable with this list. You're starting off with one less card, and you're starting hand with Colossus, so that's one of its downsides. So I did definitely check out the R2, D2, and C3PO. The reason that I chose not to do it is just because it takes up, at the very least 4 cards in your deck, but most of the time you want to do 6 cards. And for me, I just felt like it was too much. And I know they're 1/4s, and you can attack them with Anakin's ability that allows you to kill the opponent's unit a lot easier as like a 3/4, which is nice for sure. But again, it's the 6 card thing, and I wanted to play Perilous Position, and I wanted to play Jedi Lightsaber, and I think that's kind of where my list felt a little different. Perilous Position is definitely a maybe card. I don't think you absolutely need that card, but I still find it useful in a lot of situations. And then Jedi Lightsaber, I do find incredibly useful. So that's kind of like the one thing you could switch is like take out Kuil, take out Perilous Position, and put in the R2 C3PO line of play. But Kuil has done enough for me. Like between Kuil, Red Squadron, Yoda, and Steel Guerrera, and Obi-Wan, I feel like I have enough draw support. And if they spend the turn trying to kill Kuil, that's fine, because it's not a turn where they're going to my face. So I don't know. I think it's just really personal preference. I've played both, but I like what Kuil can do as far as the restore as well. So this is just where I'm at as far as that. I think either one is fine, but you do have to slightly change things. So I'm playing a little more removal and a little more boost with my Jedi lightsabers, which just feels wrong to play this deck without Jedi lightsaber. Like Anakin just is amazing with Jedi lightsaber, and Obi-Wan's great. You have Luke in here, like even Yoda with a lightsaber early on is incredible against aggro decks. So it's just, I don't know. That's kind of my thinking there. But I think both ways of playing are fine. But this deck has been very, very strong in testing. Like it feels well rounded into just about everything. It feels like I'm always in the game. I love being able to kind of manipulate my life total with different cards. The restore helps me to kind of recover if things are getting a little crazy, and then I can damage myself with Steel Guerrera. All the indirect damage in the meta right now, I can do that as well to like manipulate, and I still make mistakes with that sometimes too, where like I attack him with Anakin after I've already healed myself that turn, like silly things like that. So it does take like a good amount of play testing. So 3 daring raids, because a lot of times we do get to a place where our opponent's units have a little bit of life total if we're swinging in with some of our earlier drops. It's also just a good piece of removal on turn 1 to take out those space units and Lukes and things like that. There's a lot of 2 HP units in the meta. 3 force throw for all the force synergy, as well as just form of hand disruption in the main board. 3 top target is another difference that I see in this list compared to other lists. I have found that it is really nice not only for healing my base when things are getting crazy, but also healing some of my units, like Anakin or Luke, for example, because those are 2 units that are often my closers and often a target of enemy removal or damages or attacking into. So top target can be really valuable there as well. The 3 Kuil is basically like a subtle form of restore and card draw, especially against space heavy decks. Like they don't really have the best way to deal with Kuil a lot of times, so then I'm just sitting there drawing cards every turn. I really haven't had any games thus far in testing where my hand total has been a problem. Restored Arc, of course, as a turn 1 space unit that can attack in for 4 and recover 1 of that damage that we do to our base. 3 Concord Dawn, I think, is just necessary in this meta with all the space heavy decks. It's just nice to have a way to slow our opponents down where it can take a hit or two. 3 Red Squadron is, of course, a very pivotal card for drawing cards to help us replenish our hand. 3 Village Protector against those ground heavy decks to slow things down. It's also just a good card to play in combination with Jedi Lightsaber on our Anakin flip turn. Like, play a Sentinel that blocks Anakin and then play a Lightsaber on Anakin. And then we can decide how we want to attack and take 2 less damage onto Anakin with Jedi Lightsabers on attack ability with Force synergy. 3 Yoda, of course, for the restore, and the card draw is just, one of those X Factor cards as well. 3 Open Fire is very important for us to just slow things down early on as we get to our Anakin turn. Like I said, the 2 Perilous Position, like I said, I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but it's nice against certain opponents just to kind of to shut them down or just to weaken that unit, like a leader potentially, like Sabine. Then they're just attacking in for 1 on the base, and it's not really a threat. It's a 0/3. So it's one of those cards. I think it's personal preference. It's also just a good piece of removal for space and ground units early on in the game. The 3 Steel Guerrera to get our tactic cards is just really, really good. So with that, we're getting like Open Fire, Daring Raids, Fell the Dragons, Takedowns, Rival Falls. Like, it's just such a good card. And then when it dies, it does the same thing. So that card's amazing in here. 3 Fell the Dragons main board. That's just another way for us to deal with big threats as well as Rivals Fall. So we have very good removal in here, early and late game, just to deal with big things that our opponent's trying to do. The 2 Takedown is going to be like for a lot of things that get damaged with some of our Sentinels or some of our units with Anakin's attack in ability. It's also just good for space units. The 2 Obi-Wan is great again for the Anakin flip turn. 2 Rivals Fall to deal with big threats and to deal with leaders. 3 Luke is just one of our closers, piece of removal. So many forms of removal, lots of ways to gain life and kind of dictate our life total. What I found, though, a lot so far in testing this deck is that a lot of games my opponents don't even put that much damage on me because of the pieces of removal that we're playing in here. And then combine that with the subtle life gain, like they a lot of times are not getting past 10 damage. All of the matchups from today were pretty dominant. I didn't find like any Quinlan. I was trying to find some Quinlan Tarkintown just to test that matchup, as well as Sabine, but nobody was playing Sabine today at all when I was making this video, so I apologize for that. But I do think that the matchups that we show just kind of showcase what this deck can do very well. I would say Quinlan is going to be harder. Control, I think we have a pretty strong matchup with Force Throws, with the card draw we have, with the removal we have, with Great Dragons and the Syndolas in the sideboard. Same for Ramp, like the Admiral Piet decks. I mean, we have the Syndola, we have really strong removal, main board. We have Lukes, we have Great Dragons, we have Redemption as a way to slow them down in space as well. Redemption has been absolutely nuts. Sometimes it just comes in as a 6/9 without even having to heal anything, which is crazy. That's when you kind of know the game is over. But it's also just a really, really strong way to get our life total back to a reasonable place where we're not worried about getting run over or losing the game. So it's that's an invaluable card. That's why we're playing 3. I just think it's the way that this deck plays, we're gonna get to 8-9 resources a lot of times, most games, unless we close out the game on the Anakin deploy turn pretty much. But most games last to, I would say, 8 or 9 resources. So getting to Redemption is very realistic. And because of the removal we have, holding on to Redemption early on is actually a good idea in a lot of matchups, just to have that cushion of 8 healing if we need it, as well as just that really strong Sentinel in space. It's the second best Sentinel in space, I believe, compared to Devastator as a 6/9. But either way, it's just very, very good in here. 2 tech in the sideboard for those discard heavy matchups to be able to pull cards out of our resources. The Syndola for those ramp decks like Admiral Piet. as well as just it's a 5/4, so it's like a good card against like Sabine too to pull out on the same turn, and it's a good Jedi lightsaber target because it becomes an 8/7, so we can put a lot of pressure with it. 3 pillage is coming in against like mostly against control, probably a little bit against some mid range matchups, and then 2 Crate Dragon against mid range and definitely against control. So that's kind of where I'm at. Again, you could move Kawil in perilous position and put in the R2 and the C3PO. I think that's totally fine. Gives you an additional ground unit to attack in for 3 damage. So again, that's fine. But Kawil has felt great in here. Like we don't have a ton of red cards. We just have what 4, so 12 red cards and 51 card main board deck. So the majority of our cards are blue. So most of the time we're going to be drawing a card, and at the very least we're getting that restore 1, and then the other thing is that they attack into it because they don't want to keep dealing with it. It's also a good Jedi lightsaber target on curve to become a 5/6, which makes it a legitimate threat on the ground against certain opponents while gaining life and drawing us cards. So there's that as well, just as a line of play. But yeah, I mean, I don't find myself using Anakin's action ability a lot. I definitely sometimes for sure, but there's a lot of games where I don't even use it. I'm just playing so much removal that I don't find myself attacking in with something and using that. And if it's just like Kawil's on the ground and I'm using removal, then I'm just using Kawil to draw cards. I'm not using it to kill things. So I'm just trying to find all that good removal. So it definitely plays, like a soft control list, and then it just, lays down the hammer when Anakin flips into the Jedi lightsabers and the Rivals Falls and the Force Throws and all those sweet things. And then you go into Luke. By that point, it's pretty hard for our opponents to recover. Our life total is still really low. So, but yeah, I've been really enjoying this list. It's definitely one of my favorite lists to play at this point. I think it's one of those decks that you always feel like you have a chance, especially because of all the restore effects. A lot of lists I've seen also don't play top target. I think that's more of a personal preference as a player. Top target for me is it's kind of like that insurance policy as well, like but it's a lot cheaper than redemption, and since we're playing so much removal, it just makes sense for me to play that card and just slow my opponent down in a lot of matchups. And there's a lot of times where I'm just like, well, I don't need it because our life total is not that high, and then I can hold on to other cards that are more important and more impactful. But some games, you're still going to have those aggro decks that just come out hot and you don't have the right answer at the right time right away. So putting that top target on that unit early on to as an insurance policy so that they eventually have to smash into one of your sentinels and then you can use one of your cheaper removals to take it out is just really nice to have to give you a more well-rounded matchup base, I think is the way I would say that. But would love to hear how you guys are playing Anakin and what cards you love to play and why. I would love to hear people that play R2, D2, and C3PO and why that they prefer that, if that's a strong preference. But like I said, so far for me, I didn't want to put the 6 cards in here. I'd rather use pieces of removal and play it even more like a soft control list in some ways. Let's get into some games and kind of show you how this deck performs. I will say this deck went undefeated today. I think I was 6-0 or 7-0 or something. But I will say in testing today, this deck felt incredibly strong.
All right, we got the wheel on turn 1. So we'd like to mulligan. No. So what are we dropping here? Definitely Obi-Wan. And then are we going to play Force Throw to try to mess with their hand, which they definitely don't have any ways to draw cards. Rivals Fall feels pretty important for like Devastator. Jedi Lightsaber feels pretty good though early on, just to like, hey, to pump up Kuil and try to just attack any threats on the ground as well as just continue to get card draw as much as we can. Figure out this. Okay, that's a card. If he has Vader, that would be like ideal for him. He has a pilot upgrade of Vader. Okay. Oh man, so many good things. I mean, Guerrera's nice too because we're digging for removal. Luke is just far out. Luke is definitely one of our in-game cards. Oh my god, he has the Vader. Well, isn't that bad for us? This makes it a 5. Yeah, I think we gotta pump Kuil up. Okay. I don't want to mess with Kuil too much more. Give him 4 turns. Redemption is really good against them too. Was a good draw. Perilous Position is good. So is Concord Dawn here. I feel like those are more important right now. Okay, he's attacking in again. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, that's an ideal start for them. Ugh. Okay, so we have a couple options here. We can claim the initiative. Play Perilous Position is another option. Let's play Concord Dawn, as it kind of forces him to figure things out. Open Fire is good. So is Top Target. See what he does first here. No disintegrations. Okay. Yeah, we want to remove the pilot option for him. Okay. He went there. It's fine. Um, not sure. Okay. Okay, he can kill Kawil now. For sure. Okay, that is a good find. Um, top target or I mean we have a bunch of removal. I guess top target can squeeze in. Yep. Well, that's nice. Okay. We can Rivals Fall. To gain 4 life. Hmm. It's gonna be a big unit if he puts it. It's gonna be a 8-10. So we definitely want to Rivals Fall that, right? Before he plays it or after? Anakin can take 4. I don't know. Hmm. Redemption's coming in a couple turns too. Just would hate to take more damage with this. Yeah, let's just get rid of the Ruthless Raider. I don't want him to have a pilot option here. I don't think he can win now with Anakin at 9 power. It's going to be tough. Yeah, because we just take some damage here with type armor. Hopefully he doesn't have no good to be dead, I guess. I think that's the worst card he could have. Okay, so we take indirect damage. That's not going to do it, though. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that makes Anakin a 10 powered unit. Good game. Yeah, Anakin's just a beast. Beast mode. Alright, up against Wedge Yellow. No, no mulligan. I like our hand. I think, yeah, it's definitely a little awkward. Hopefully their upgrade here isn't too crazy. I really want to hold on to Redemption in this matchup. Yeah, definitely playing Concord Dawn. Daring Ray would be a good find here. We just, yeah, just let the restart arc go. See what they do. If they hold up that, then we're just going to open fire. Oh, he did not. Okay. Well, that makes sense that he didn't do that. All right. Same play for us either way. And that's a good game. All right, look at that hand. What a hand. No mulligan. Um, just spamming our opponent with open fire here. I mean, probably. Okay. Alrighty. Well, that's a good start for him. Don't need that. It's a very good start for our opponent. Okay. Need to find our Concord Dawn here. Daring Raids would be really good as well. Okay. He's probably thinking they don't have more open fires. Little does he know, that is all we have. Okay. Open fire again. Vader. Look at that. Okay. And we'll follow that up with our third open fire, while slowly making Anakin stronger. I'm gonna hold on to the life gain. Just truly trying to annoy our opponent. I mean, this is not great because we don't have a way to kill that. We just have to claim the initiative and hope for the best.
Hmm. We go Yoda plus Red Squadron, I guess. I ran out of open fires. Okay, he's deploying onto his Victor leader. Yep. Fortunately, we don't have anything very strong for that. Take 7 to the face, go to 13. Are we just racing him here? It's not the worst idea. Okay, well that's annoying that he had that card in his hand. Um, we're just looking for like a Rival's Fall here, I guess, at this point. If we find Rival's Fall, I think this game is ours. Redemption is another card that will pretty much seal the deal. Okay, I'm just curious why he did that. I don't think that was necessary. Luke is pretty strong. So is double Jedi lightsaber. So we're gonna take 13 here, go to 26, and swing in for 9, 12, 14 damage and have game next turn. Could also just play Luke and minus 3/3 on his Victor leader to make it swing in for 4. So if we don't do that, we still take 9. If we do that, we take 8. So we can kill a unit and take 9. Okay. Get a restore unit on the ground feels pretty good. And then claim the initiative. If we find, yeah, I mean, there's not much other than racing here at this point, unless we find Rebel's Fall. Okay. That's a pretty good find. I'm gonna go to 21 and go to 16, and then we have Jedi lightsaber. How much are we gonna take here? 14, 11. So they have lethal. So we take down the small unit. Should have kept the daring raid. Um, Let me see. We're gonna go to 16 here, and then all we need is 9 damage, and we win, right? Yeah, it kind of puts them in a tough situation. They really need like Force Choke. It's the best card they could have right now. Okay, or we just do this and say, good luck. Disabling Fang Fighter, okay. Good thing we have another one. Good game. All right, no mulligan. We'll let go of one daring raid, and I guess second daring raid. We go Kuil. Let's play open fire and draw a card, which is nice. Hate to lose two daring raids this early, but it was definitely the best option. Some potential they have some ground units that have ambush with yellow. No. Okay. Force throw, Jedi lightsaber. Don't think Village Protector is the card I want. I think I just want Concord Dawn here. Okay. Take 6. I could swing in for 5 with the Jedi lightsaber. Let's just play a Sentinel. Slow things down to get to Anakin, I think, is the key here. Um, Force throw doesn't make the most sense because we don't have a Yoda. God, those daring raids are already coming back to bite me. So what am I doing next turn? I mean, it's either force throw now or force throw later. Could force throw in 2 turns with Anakin. Okay. Redemption that's a huge find. Uh, Red Squadron doesn't feel bad to draw cards. Jedi Lightsaber doesn't feel bad to put on Anakin. I think we're just going to drop Obi-Wan. I don't think that's the card we're looking for here. And then immediately it's the card we're looking for. Um, You're going to take some damage. Fell the Dragon is good. That's a very good find. Okay. Poe's coming out. Wheels over here doing work. So next turn, what are we doing? Just Jedi Lightsaber plus Force Throw, probably? Yeah, because then we can kill 2 things in 1 turn. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. He could attack Kuil here and stop our card draw, which is probably smart. Yep. And now we have Takedown plus Force Throw. So I think that's what we're doing. We'll take our 6, bring out Anakin, and Force Throw. I mean, our hand is pretty ridiculously strong for this stage of the game. Another Poe. That is fine. We could actually, I think we could probably get away with getting rid of one of these big things in our hand. I'm gonna go with Just one Luke. All right. Steel Guerrero is not bad. I think we're just going Luke here. Ooh. Surprised that he did that, to be honest. Okay. I don't think we need two top targets. Okay. Um, we can just sit tight here and do none. Should put a big beast up there. And we, oh, well, I guess we should attack him with Anakin first, right? That's okay. Um, what are you gonna do? Five, five? How much? Five indirect damage? Yeah, we can take it all here. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part not attacking with Anakin first, but just wanted to. I always have this tendency to attack him with Luke first, just because you want to be able to get that restore effect, right? Yeah, and that's gonna do it for this one. Good game. Uh, hmm. Go Village Protector into Guerrera. So we letting go Darren right here? I guess so. Just want to hold on to that Rival's Fall from Mace Windu. Um, I'm expecting them to have a lot of removal. Okay. Velvet Dragon seems like a good card to have against a deck like this. I would imagine they're playing like Waylay too. I wasn't expecting Grogu, so that's interesting. Yeah, there's the Waylay. Okay. Let's play Steel Guerrero. Do some damage, draw a card. Another Rival's Fall. That's really good. We have a lot of good removal in our hand. Okay. So he's going to kill our Guerrero. Sure. He's. I would have. Yeah, I was going to say he's going to kill it with Mace Windu, right? Yeah. Sure. Take some damage. Nothing. Okay. That's lame. Daring Raid. Um, is the weak link here. Everything else I want to hold on to. I mean, we're almost at Rival's Fall, so that's good. Lots of fun. This is such a fun matchup. 6 resources. Uh, just go Anakin. Let him go ahead and exhaust it. Okay, then we're gonna play Concord Dawn. What does Mace Windu a 5/8? This is definitely just a deck that tries to annoy the piss out of you while they do absolutely nothing. Um, those are good. Grogu's definitely a problem. Hmm. Really, unfortunately, though, I just don't want to continue to deal with Grogu. Yep. Let's go there. See what our opponent does here. Because if they have, like, if they just pull out Mace, we're just going to Rebels Fall it. Definitely. Um, okay. Let's go in for one. When it flips, I can't remember what it does. It does, like, 2 damage or something to each damage unit, I want to say. Can't remember exactly. Yeah. We could take out Grogu here, which doesn't feel like a bad idea. We could also just use Luke and get Luke out. Can't remember what it does when it flips. There's got to be a way to see that, right? Haven't played against Mace in a while. Just pass. Let him figure it out. Deal 2 damage to each deployed unit. Okay. I see, I see. Okay. Each damage unit. So we're going to Luke, get rid of Grogu, and then use Village Protector to protect ourselves. And then we're just going to Rival's Fall. Yeah, that's fine. I would say we're going to sit tight on this hand so we can hold on to things. He might have a waylay or spread the target again. Okay, cool. And I think this is where we turn the corner on our opponent. Um, we could definitely take out Grogu again. We could force throw ourselves, which doesn't feel like a bad idea. I am thinking I don't need top target at this point. Do we just kill Grogu with Luke? Yeah, I think that's fine. We let Anakin die, that's fine. We're at 8 resources. Okay. Um, we could force throw ourselves here. For one, take that out. That's probably going to do it for this game. We can just take 3 to the face since we're at no damage on board. Get in for 4. Open fire and pass. I would imagine this is where our opponent concedes. I mean, sure they can kill Luke. I mean Anakin, but that's not gonna do enough here. That's cool. 4. Uh, we just claim the initiative. Yeah, it's an interesting deck. It just kind of ran out of steam with the Grogu's and the spare the targets. It's cool though. I like the idea behind it. It's just tough one. Good game.